How's it going, everyone? Today I'm going to show you how to do some recording inside of OBS Studio, whether that's to record some gameplay to repost on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, things like that, YouTube, or whether you're just recording your desktop to try to make some tutorials, much like this, or, you know, any type of other recording that OBS Studio can do. It's a really extremely powerful program, and you can use it quite literally as your home studio. So let's get into OBS and I'll show you how to set up some recordings. So now we're in OBS. You can see we're right where we left off on Goblin's World, setting up an OBS instance for beginners to be able to start content creation. So now that we're here in OBS, the first thing that we're going to do is go into the settings panel, which is in the bottom right. And then we're going to go to output. Now under this output tab, there'll be 4 additional tabs: streaming, recording, audio, and replay buffer. If you're not seeing these, more than likely you have your output mode set to simple. We need your output mode set to advanced. So if you see here, you're not seeing all those different options in the simple mode, but in advanced, we have all the different streaming, recording, audio, and replay buffer. So under advanced mode, we're just going to be concerned about the recording tab right now. Now under recording, you're going to want to, under the type, leave that as standard. Now for the recording path, this is exactly where OBS is going to save all your video files when you do recordings. By default, this is set to your documents folder /videos or your home folder /videos if you're on Linux or Mac. The recording format, you're going to want to leave the recording format as MKV, because if you have an OBS crash or your computer crashes during a recording, you will corrupt your recording if it's in any other format. In MKV, you'll be able to recover your recording and maybe pick back up where you left off and continue your project. On the encoder, this is where a lot of people are going to get confused and mixed up. On the encoder, it really depends on your computer or whether you have an integrated graphics card, a CPU with, it depends on your computer of whether you have a dedicated graphics card or an integrated graphics card into your CPU, or just your CPU. And it also matters whether you're on AMD dedicated graphics or NVIDIA dedicated graphics. Now I know that sounds like a lot of different stuff, but basically it just means what settings that you're going to have to choose. For me, I have an AMD dedicated graphics card. So on the list here, I'm going to choose H.264 AVC encoder, AMD Advanced Media Framework. Now, if you have an NVIDIA card, you're going to have something quite close to that same thing, except it's not going to say AMD Advanced Media Framework. It's going to say NVIDIA. Now, if you don't have a dedicated graphics card, you're going to have to choose X264. And that's going to use your CPU to do all the recording and gameplay, or just your desktop recording. Under custom muxer settings, we can leave these blank because we're going to remux the videos after the recording. Now down here on the quality preset, I like to go to balanced. This just allows it to not try to overtake your whole computer while recording, but still allowing for a high quality recording. And then on the target bitrate, you're going to want to shoot for 16,000. I know this seems like a high number, but recording bit rates and streaming bit rates are 2 different things. And if you want a nice 1080p recording, you're going to need a target bit rate of around 16,000. There is a really good chart online that will tell you the different recording bit rates that you need for 1080p, 1440p, and 4K. But more than likely, a lot of us are just going to be recording in 1080p. So we'll just keep that at 16,000. And the rest of these settings, the keyframe interval and the view mode, you can just leave these all default. And we're just going to go ahead and hit apply and OK. So now that we have all the settings properly set for recording in OBS Studio, the last thing that we need to do is check on whether or not those settings are working. So if I click down here, split gate, I have already set up to capture. So we'll go ahead and load up a split gate game just so we can check out the recording and see if a recording works well and is in high quality. It gets both the game audio and my microphone. And we'll give it a nice shot here. All right. Splitgate is loading up. We'll go ahead and Alt-Tab back to our Discord instance here, or our OBS instance. And in the bottom right, we'll go ahead and press Start Recording. We'll back out, tab back into the game. We'll go ahead and claim this reward, exit. And I'll just hop into a quick game just to get a little bit of footage, and I'll exit right out, and we'll check on the footage. We'll see how, quality the recording is. Now, if you haven't checked out this game, it's a pretty dope arena shooter game that's absolutely free on like every platform. So if you want to get down on some arena shooters that has a little bit of a different aspect to it with portals, this is a decent game to check out. All right, we're loading in. Team SWAT. That means headshots do instant kills.
Starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Let's get it.
Aim for the head. Lost the lead. Tied the leader.
I hear him. I hear him.
Lost the lead.
Headshot. So we got a little bit of footage here. We'll go ahead and exit match. We'll go ahead and Alt-Tab back to our OBS instance and hit Stop Recording. Now that it's recorded, if we go up to the upper left-hand side of OBS and go to File and click Show Recordings, it will bring you right to the recordings that you just made. And that way you're not fishing around through a whole bunch of folder structures trying to find where you recorded this. And you can just open this up. And let me pause this for a moment. We'll back out. Tab back into the game. We'll go ahead and claim this reward. And as you can see, exit. And I'll just hop into a quick game just to get a little bit of footage, and I'll exit right out, and we'll check on the footage. We'll see how, quality the recording is. As you can see, we got a decent recording here. Pretty dope arena shooter game. Go ahead and turn this down. As you can see, we got a decent recording, 1080p recording. And, that's how you set up recording on OBS to record gameplay. The only difference between gameplay and capturing your desktop would be instead of capturing the game, you'd go ahead and capture your main screen. And then you'd be doing OBS tutorial type videos as well. Go ahead and close that out. And we'll go ahead and close out Splitgate. Now, the last thing I need to show you before we need to end this recording in OBS Studio tutorial is how to remux your recordings so that you can edit them inside of any other editing software. So just like before, we're going to head up to the upper left-hand side of OBS Studio, hit File, and instead of Show Recordings, we're going to click Remux Recordings. And then you're going to see a dialog box pop up to where you can click these three dots and search for the recording that you want to remux. So we're going to go ahead and remux the recording we just made. Hit Open. And what this is going to do is it's going to change it from MKV to MP4, but it's going to put it in the same folder in which the MKV is currently located. So what I like to do is I like to click over here on the target file and put Remux. So that way I know what one's the MKV and what one's the MP4 without having to right click and go to properties or go to detailed views in the file explorer. So the next thing you're just going to do is click Remux. And as you can see, that happens pretty quick. And your recording's ready to go inside of editing software and be edited or even posted to an online platform, because now it's in an MP4 format in which YouTube and many other social media platforms accept MP4s. So that's how you record in OBS Studio and get a decent 1080p recording in order to repost to other socials or show your friends. Thanks for checking out the video on how to record, and we'll see you on the next OBS tutorial. Later.